Happy St. Patrick's Day. It is 2023, the 17th of March. Main Street Fire Rescue is now in service, and we are on the air with this transmission from the one, the only Disney's Contemporary Resort. One of my all-time favorites. What am I doing here? Well, a lot of people are drinking around the world today. I'm not doing that. So what I thought we would do is I'm going to give you all an in-depth look of the Contemporary. Okay? And what do I mean by that? How was this building constructed? When was it built? Or let's start backwards. When was it built? How was it constructed? What does the design mean? And how is it an important piece of Walt Disney World history? Also some fine details that are inside that I think a lot of people, when they stay here, they don't even give it a chance to look around, you know, because everybody's running to the theme parks. So what I thought I would do is take you on a tour through this fascinating hotel and show you the ins and outs of this place. That way, if you ever decide to stay here, I can promise you, if you do stay here, either A, you're a Disney Vacation Club member, or you're bringing a big wallet with you, because it is not cheap. One of the reasons is it's on the Disney monorail loop. I also have reservations this evening for Steakhouse 7-1, and then because of that I was able to park here in the parking lot, and I can just walk to Magic Kingdom, and then when I'm done, walk back. I don't have to mess with the Ticket Transportation Center, which is freaking awesome. So with that, we're gonna get this St. Patrick's evening started. Let's take a tour of the Contemporary. Let's get going. I mean, really, to start, this building, it just looks awesome the way it stands. I mean, like a big freaking triangle. I mean, very, at the time, modern architectural design. And since we're coming in on the ground floor, I'm going to show you some pictures and how this resort, this hotel, was put together. It was actually way ahead of its time when it was done. So this answers my question from the other resorts. Apparently, around Walt Disney World, just like the gingerbread displays, there is an Easter egg display. There's one at the Grand Floridian. Now there's one here at the Contemporary. It's up on the 4th floor, which I'm gonna guess that's the main atrium floor. And check this out. This is the golden egg. Over 50 pounds of chocolate covered in 24 karat gold leaf. How impressive is that? Oh, sad they even have to put that there, but you always know signs don't exist like that unless somebody tried that. And then this was made by Chef Jeff. Very good work, Jeff. Mr. Chef Jeff. That's awesome. And then also, Contempo Cafe has some springtime treats as well. They had this at Christmas time also. We're going to talk about this. This appears here in this resort from time to time. I'm going to explain what it is, what it means, and why it's here. That looks really good. So the Contemporary is a unique hotel, and you come in basically on the ground level, but most of all the activities and everything is on the floors above us. And right here is where we're going to have dinner later. If y'all remember, I actually ate here for Christmas Day morning. Had breakfast, had the Walt's hash. Again, I highly recommend the breakfast here. So these are some of the early photos. This is actually on the way into Steakhouse 7-1 right here. This is looks like early construction photos of the Contemporary, because you can still see scaffolding and cranes. I'm guessing, and I'm going to have to look back in my history books, but of Disney World history, it would appear that Contemporary wasn't quite done yet when Disney World opened. Because judging by this photo, you have people driving around in Tomorrowland cars, people definitely in the sky buckets right there. Lots of cranes and scaffolding on the Contemporary. And then this, it's hard to imagine. This is the original Magic Kingdom. I mean, look at all this area. This is, I think, where Jungle Cruise sits right now. Like how wide open that is. Or no, I take that back. That's where the Liberty Bell, the steamboat. Jungle Cruise will be back this way. This is the entrance to Tomorrowland over in, so I guess over here. Yeah, because there's the teacups. And look at that. They did used to be outdoors at one point. They used to not have a roof over them. But apparently there used to be two gigantic waterfalls coming into Tomorrowland. There were these two spires on either side that had gigantic waterfalls, which I think is kind of cool. Wow. Early days of Magic Kingdom. Look at Seven Seas Lagoon, like how open it is. Grand Floridian's not there. There's Polynesian. And then Contemporary's right over this way. Oh, wow. Lots of changes. There's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. That's where Seven Dwarfs Mine Train sits now. That's really cool. So this is one of my all-time favorite pictures right here. This is where Walt was talking about Disney World's plans and also Epcot. What he's doing there is he's trying to show us the scale and how gigantic Walt Disney World is. That's where he's going. By the scale on this map, I'm at least 6 miles tall, and he was talking about the property being over 47 square miles, which is gigantic. Basically, original plans were there's going to be the Airport of Tomorrow right here, and then you would work your way up, and then this was going to be Epcot right here, and then the Magic Kingdom was going to be way up there. That was the early days of Walt Disney World. And this is another one of my favorite pictures. This is here on the ground level of the Contemporary, outside of Steakhouse 7-1. This is early construction. As you can see, this resort, this hotel, it was all built by a steel structure. And what do you notice? Check out the rooms. So what they did with this, and I've done a lot of extensive reading and studying on this, Walt Disney World contracted with U.S. Steel, and they wanted to make a hotel, a futuristic hotel, and show it off. And they figured, what perfect place to do this than a brand new Walt Disney World resort. So the idea and the concept behind this was you build the exterior skeleton, and then the rooms are already prefabricated. They were already made. And then what you do is once you have the skeleton in place, then you start inserting the rooms into the hotel. Basically kind of like putting a giant Lego set together. So what they had done is all the rooms were arriving prefabricated like this, and then they would hoist them up and they were sliding them in place. This was going to be one of U.S. Steel's first concept. This was going to be one of the construction projects that was going to move them to the next level as far as building more modernized structures and making things look very streamlined and doing things at a quicker pace. This, however, was very short-lived because they were running into a ton of issues with this. What was happening, if you notice, this is all concrete and this is steel. In the Florida sun and all that, and the heat here, and even the cool weather, this all expands and contracts. And what was happening was these rooms, they weren't fitting inside anymore. There were certain areas where they just wouldn't fit. And so then they had to basically modify everything. They had to, in a sense, make things fit. And that delayed construction. There was a delayed opening. All because of this didn't quite go to plan as they thought it would. They just figured, we're going to build this awesome resort. The hotel rooms are going to arrive on scene or on the construction site, and then we're just going to insert them all in one at a time, and this thing's going to go up in record time. Not so much. So this, I believe, is the only structure like this anywhere around where they utilize this type of construction. Up here you can see the beginnings of the California Grill, and then over here is where you can stand to watch the fireworks now. I mean, looking at the early days, the monorail beams aren't even done yet. Like just looking here, it's only this segment is done. And people have asked too, why don't they expand the monorail? And I believe it's because of the sheer cost of it. I forget what they had said. I think it's like $1 million per half mile or something like that, or per quarter mile. It's just some astronomical number. So, but it also, one thing, if you look, a lot of the stuff that's in this photo is here today. This boat dock is here, although it's been changed. There's a lot more items out here, but this pool is here, this main swimming pool. You can see where the ground level is and where you'd walk into the resort. But this is everything that's out here, and the hotel, everything is still here. Even these outlying resort rooms over here and over this way. Because you also, outside of this main building, there are other places to stay that's considered the contemporary, and they're on both sides of the resort. But very, very cool early design. Just didn't go quite to plan because of the technicalities of inserting rooms and concrete rooms into an already existing structure. And then, as you'll see when we go upstairs, you can see behind all this is the gigantic atrium. And also, the monorail runs right through this hotel, but it doesn't run through the middle of it, and that originally was the plan. So we are on our way upstairs. And if anybody is a Three Stooges fan, we are going up to the basement. Forget which one that was. I think they were plumbers. And they said, well, where should we start first? Well, I think everything's in the basement. And Curly's like, well, where's the basement? He goes, upstairs. Like, all right, up to the basement, to the basement. Yes, 4th floor is where everything's at. And over here is where a very famous piece of history happened. Like, there's a lot of historical significance in this ballroom right over here that not many people know about. I pointed this out during Christmas Day. I can't go in there now because they're actually having conferences. But in the Ballroom of the Americas, right here, I like pointing this out. This is where Richard Nixon gave his famous speech of, "I am not a crook." Right in there. So anytime you come to the Contemporary, look for, you might not be able to go into those ballrooms because it might be having activity, but it's actually covered up, but it'll say, "Welcome to the Ballroom of the Americas." That's where that famous speech happened. These escalators are very, very tiny too. These remind me of, if you've ever been in Marshall Fields or Carson Perry Scott in downtown Chicago, I know they have different names now, but the escalators that take you up to the various floors of merchandise are very narrow, just like this. This is one of my all-time favorite reveals, coming up with this escalator into the atrium. This is the 4th floor atrium. So there was a time when none of this existed in here. This was all open concept. If you notice, the monorail's running through, but it's running through on the side. The original plan was for the monorail to come through the direct center of this building. And in early engineering plans, they had thought that the vibrations of the monorail would have shaken the hotel apart. So they had to move it to the side to keep everything more centralized and keeping it over the main support system and the foundations. But this hotel offers some gorgeous views right here. You can, a lot of people I don't think realize this, but one, in Christmas time, there's a giant gingerbread house that sits right here that's made off of Cinderella Castle. But if you see all these balconies here, I'm going to show you something really cool. So we're out here on the balcony on the other side of the big atrium glass wall. You got beautiful views of Magic Kingdom, Space Mountain, and the new Tron roller coaster. Also, one thing you can do is you come out those doors that I did, you can start right here if you don't mind climbing steps. And you can go all the way up to the rooftop, which gives you some breathtaking views of the Disney World Resort. You can see all of Magic Kingdom. Also, you can watch the fireworks from up there. So when Happily Ever After comes back, you can go up there and watch it. They actually have speakers up there where they pipe the audio through. So it's just like watching the fireworks show. This side is more reserved for people at the Grand Californian. Up there is the rooftop of the restaurant, and then it opens up out onto this walkway up here. So everybody from the restaurant will gather on this side. And also what they will do is they will block this area off so you can't go up on this side. They'll close this down. And I believe they also have a paid, I don't know if this is paid or part of the California Grill deal, but I've seen people sitting here, but this is usually roped off. And again, what perfect viewing for fireworks. You can pretty much see all of the, what do you call it? The Cinderella Castle, the projections on there. And we're in here for the perfect time. We got that genuine, bona fide 6-car monorail going right by us into the resort. That's so cool. Like, I mean, it gets pretty dang close to you. It's freaking awesome. So one of these nights, once Happily Ever After returns, we're gonna come out here and I'm gonna climb up this stair. This is also a really good way to get some exercise. I'm gonna start here and we're gonna climb up the steps and we'll watch Happily Ever After from up top. The other thing you can do is walk through this corridor here, and this goes all the way through. This is Bay Lake Tower. This was another addition that was built onto the Contemporary. This is all Disney Vacation Club right here. You can stay here. Sometimes there are rooms available. They are extremely pricey though. And basically what you're paying for is you are on the Walt Disney World monorail loop. Now, I've pointed this out a million times, and I will forever say this as long as I keep doing this. If you're staying here at Contemporary, the entrance to Magic Kingdom is literally right over there. All you do is come out of the resort, follow that path down there, you cross the street and walk straight down to security. Takes 5 minutes. And if you're a fast walker, you can do it even quicker than that. If you take the monorail, okay, once it leaves Magic Kingdom, this is the first stop. So when you're leaving Magic Kingdom, perfect. If you don't want to walk back, hop on the monorail, you're on the very first stop. If you're going to Magic Kingdom, you're going to board right inside, but then you have the Ticket Transportation Center, you have the Polynesian and the Grand Floridian to stop at before you get to Magic Kingdom. You could walk to the resort and back to the resort in the amount of time it takes you to take the monorail from here over to Magic Kingdom. Just some food for thought. I want this mat for home. Like, the Contemporary is so neat because it actually it still emboldens the theming and the design. It has its own emblems like this. I mean, and when you look, it's a decent sized resort. So you have the Bay Lake Tower over here, and then you have all of these, there's the outlier buildings right down here, right all through here. South Garden Wing, this is all the pool area. This is actually the one you can see in the construction photos right here, and there's boat rentals. And then the gigantic convention center, which is freaking huge. Then you have a bunch of options for eating here too. You have California Grill, which is very, very high end, but you're basically eating on the top level of the hotel. So you have beautiful nighttime views of the resort, plus you can walk outside for the fireworks. Steakhouse 71, which is where having dinner tonight. Contempo Cafe, a quick grab and go. And then Chef Mickey's, still extremely overrated, way too expensive for what you get. It is a character meet and greet. However, I'm going to say this a million times, you can go over to Topolino's Terrace over at Riviera and get a better breakfast with characters for less money. One other thing I want to point out is if you can see all the different the levels, and it goes in like a triangle. If you notice, if you ever take the monorail in here, right as you're coming into the building, it'll say "Welcome to the Grand Canyon Resort," or Contemporary Grand Canyon Resort. Why do they call it that? Well, when this building was designed, they wanted it to look like an upside down Grand Canyon. And so basically, if you imagine turning this resort upside down, it would make like a big U. And then all those layers would be the layers of the canyon. If that makes sense. I know it's a lot. But that's why they call this the Grand Canyon Resort. And then over here, this is the famous Mary Blair mural, which, if you don't know, Mary Blair had a huge part in It's a Small World. She designed all the little characters. That's basically her ride. And in this mural is a five-legged goat. And I gotta find him. I forget where he's at. But the reason that the five-legged goat was done was because she believed that when she painted this, she believed that nothing in nature isn't pure, and nor is it perfect. So neither should this mural be perfect. So she painted a five-legged goat to represent the imperfections in nature. So right here, I'm standing in front of the other side of the atrium. We've got the outer rim, which is like a bar area, Chef Mickey's, and then Contempo Cafe, or if you just want to run and do basically a little grab and go. And these are some of the Easter offerings. And then this is another one of the eggs that were designed by our very talented cast members. This was that tart that I was looking at earlier. This thing looks good. I'm curious as to what they're going to do with all this 50th stuff in a couple more days. This actually looks really good too. So the five-legged goat is up on the mural somewhere, but I believe it's on the other side. So I got to somehow try to break it on through to the other side to see this. The other thing that Contemporary is really good for is when there are rocket launches, which there are several of them, you can actually go out to this balcony or to the rooftop, and every time there's a rocket launch from Kennedy Space Center, you can see it really, really well. And it looks like there's going to be one in about a half an hour. So any rockets that get launched usually go straight over Space Mountain. Like, you can see them. It's perfect the way they situated Tomorrowland, because it literally looks like the rockets are taking off out of Space Mountain or Tomorrowland. So one of the other tips that I would recommend while you're here visiting is go on Kennedy Space Center's website and see if there's a rocket launch. SpaceX pretty much regularly launches rockets seems like once a week now. If you're anywhere on the Disney Resort, you can see these rockets really, really well, especially on a clear night. It's a little bit cloudy right now, but maybe in a half hour it clears out. So walking through here, I believe the five-legged goat is on this side, and the only way up there is I got to go through security and all that. So I may do that, but I'm not taking the monorail, so we'll see if I can find it. I swear, Contemporary has some of the neatest merchandise. Oh, this is cool. This bathrobe is, oh my gosh, that's super comfortable. Actually, $100. That's a nice robe for $100. And then I'm a big fan of this shirt right here. I may have to get this. $40. Not bad. But typical. Nothing in my size. That's a cool mug. I've said it before, but a big fan of the Contemporary logo. Yep, lots and lots of cool Contemporary merch. And then down here in the main atrium, if you're looking for the perfect toy shop for a souvenir or pretty much anything, especially pins, this is the place. A lot of stuff that's available in the parks you can find in these gift shops, so keep that in mind. If you don't see what you're looking for in the theme parks, check some of these gift shops out at your various resorts. So a lot of times they'll have it, whatever it is you're looking for. This is pretty cool. I just ran across this. They have the actual Star Speeder that you fly in from Star Tours. It's a little die cast. Very neat. gonna head back down to the lower level, and we're gonna go out onto the outside area. I'm gonna show you all the pool areas and all the really cool features outside. So back down in the lobby right by Steakhouse 71. This is the exit to the pool, beach, and marina. So we're gonna head on out here, take a look at the outside. So there's a lot of activity out here to do. So checkers, they got the around the resort. There's these, I'm guessing like stainless steel art structures with Mickey, like right here where he's posing on top of the Mickey ears. And then you have a place you can set your cell phone right here, have a photo taken. You see, if you ride the monorail to Magic Kingdom on the express monorail, you'll see him again. They have him situated on some buildings up around here that you cannot see from the ground level. You can only see it from the monorail. This is a pretty cool splash pad. A lot of times this water is heated. I can remember Paige and I being out here one day and it was freezing cold, and this was running, and we're like, well, let's check it out. And sure enough, yeah, that water's not hot, but it's very comfortable. They do have a water slide. The one cool thing about the Disney, well, pretty much all the resorts around Orlando, especially Disney and Universal, they all have their own unique water slides. So they're all different at various hotels or resorts. And this right now is the swimming pool, and it's closed for refurbishment. It's been down for a while. They've been doing quite a bit of work. So one thing to keep in mind here, if you are staying here or planning on staying here, you don't have a lot of options for swimming, unfortunately. This has been undergoing a lot of work for quite a while. Not sure when they're going to wrap it up, but you can see where the water slide goes in the pool there. We're going to walk around the outside. I think there's another pool out there, the circular pool that you can see in the construction photos. That's over there. But yes, this is definitely, I know why they do it during this time of year, because of the, you know, definitely not lower crowds with spring break and that, but because we generally get cooler weather, so that's why they choose to do this during the off season rather than during summer when it's 125 outside. So I'm guessing this will be done by summer, hopefully. But it's a very, very neat swimming pool. You can tell it's got a really unique shape, and then in the middle there's the different hot tubs. To get to the other swimming pool, we're gonna walk around here. I think you can use the hotel pool at Bay Lake Tower as well if you're staying here. I think. Don't quote me on that. And then right here, this is the sandbar area. You can get some grab and go, get some good drinks, just some, you know, basic snack food. And here's some of the things you can do at this particular resort. Now, every Disney resort has different activities, but this one is unique to these. So all of them have the movies under the stars. That's really neat. What that is, they set up a giant movie screen, and they select, play one of the favorite Disney movies every single night. And they put out little chairs and bean bags for people to sit on. They have a really good fitness center here. You can rent cabanas. You can go on fishing cruises. There is a running trail around here. Community hall. The Boat Nook Marina, you can actually rent a pontoon boat, go out for a couple hours. And then of course you can mobile order at Contempo Cafe as well, which on busy times I highly suggest this mobile ordering. You cannot go wrong with that. But they used to have these little, you can see them over there. They were like little Sea Sprite boats. They were two-person little speed boats. Those never came back after the closure, which frustrates me because Paige and I wanted to do that so bad, and we always kept saying, you know, before everything closed down, well, one of these days we're going to go and rent one of those small speed boats. We never did, and now they're gone. You can't get them. At least I don't know if they'll ever come back, but you can do a pontoon boat. I think it's around $45 for every half hour. And then your rentals are all down this way. And you can see where they lined up these Sea Sprite boats right here in this channel. They would bring them right in through here that you'd board on and then just kind of slide them right on out of here. But yeah, they all tucked right in. They were basically like small jet skis. But yeah, wish they'd bring those back. So walking out onto the marina area, outside on the other side of this little pool bar. So the boat nook, that's where you can do your boat rentals. This is where you can do your fireworks cruises. There's all the pricing. So fireworks cruises are a little pricey, but if you have a lot of people, you can, you know, split that up if you choose to. Fishing excursions, not terrible for 2 and 4 hour trips. And then there's your sun tracker pontoon. So I mean, not bad. 90 bucks for an hour, 10 guests maximum. So you do that right here, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day. So just come out here. You can call ahead or just come out here and rent yourself a nice boat and go out for a little cruise on Bay Lake. So speaking of traditional areas, back in 2018 there used to be a place here called Sammy Duvall's Water Sports. So believe it or not, they used to do parasailing on this lake out here. And right, it says it was located in the water sports center of the Contemporary. Or I'm sorry, it says Sammy Duvall's Water Sports Center will be closing on the last day of operation, which is August 31st, 2018. And this will be at Walt Disney World. This Sammy Duvall's is located in the marina area of Disney's Contemporary Resort, and said it allowed guests to participate in unique water sports activities. These included parasailing, jet skis, and other personal watercraft rentals, tubing, wakeboarding, and water skiing. So yes, at one point in time, you could water ski right here on Bay Lake, right next to Walt Disney World. And I'm guessing that Sammy Duvall's was probably in this area right here. That would be my guess. That's probably where they put everything. In fact, I've talked to some cast members that used to work out here, and some of them that still do, and they have said that this area way out there was sectioned off for the parasailing, because the boat would basically, you need a lot of room to get up to speed to get the parasail up and then go all the way out, and then, you know, you basically go kind of make a giant oval out there. And that's where they wanted other boats, you know, forbidden. You couldn't go out there. But yes, at one point, and I believe if you go on Google Maps, if it hasn't been updated in a while, you can see where the old parasailing area used to be out there. That you can still see the buoys in the water. Also straight ahead from us is Discovery Island. Basically that was like a smaller version of Animal Kingdom that used to have to take a boat over to get to. And from what I understand, everything is still out there. It's just overgrown, and I highly suggest not going exploring out there, because that will get you a permanent ban from the Disney World Resort. If you do take a boat from here, which they don't do right now, haven't done in a while, but you used to be able to take a boat from Magic Kingdom, or I'm sorry, not Magic Kingdom, but you used to be able to take a boat from here to Wilderness Lodge, and then you would go right past Discovery Island there, and you could see some of the areas out there. But just imagine, you used to be able to rent jet skis here, you could go tubing, you could even freaking go water skiing out here. Like, there was a lot of stuff you could do on this lake. And so, like, I became a pass holder in 2016. I don't ever remember seeing people parasail out here, but again, I wasn't really paying that much attention either. But yes, 2018, August 31st was the last day of Sammy Duvall's, and they probably closed up for liability reasons and everything else. You know, with parasailing, apparently from what was happening, there was a lot of jet ski accidents, you know, people being irresponsible, and it just was getting way too expensive. So, but yes, right here, you can take a boat to Wilderness Lodge, boat to Fort Wilderness. Those never came back after the SARS-CoV-2 shutdowns, sadly. So if you want to go from here to Wilderness Lodge or Fort Wilderness, you have to take a bus. Probably the best bet would be to walk to Magic Kingdom, or take the monorail if you feel like it, but it's easier. Walk to Magic Kingdom, because the bus loop is actually just up that way. Again, much faster to walk. So you go up to Magic Kingdom, get on the bus, to Wilderness Lodge or Fort Wilderness, which is right over there. Not sure if they'll ever bring the boats back. I know from like everything at Disney, it's grossly understaffed. I know they try to hide that, but it is what it is. You know, they just don't have the staffing for a lot of this stuff. But yeah, anyway, this is one of my favorite views of the Contemporary. This angle, and then from the park, basically Tomorrowland, and then also over this way as you're driving up into the Contemporary. Very, very, very photogenic, photographic hotel. And then up there at the top, you can see California Grill, where everybody's having dinner tonight for the fireworks. And I'm sure the dinner for the first night when Happily Ever After returns is probably sold out. And all these right here, they're prepping these pontoon boats. These are for your fireworks cruises. What they'll do is they will take a group of people that have paid for this out on Bay Lake. So they'll leave out of here and they'll go around, cross the water bridge, if you will. There's actually a bridge that goes over the road, and it's a channelway, and that'll put you in Seven Seas Lagoon, and they will drop a little anchor down and watch Enchantment. And they play all the audio, and it's a pretty cool experience from what I've heard. Again, a little pricey, but from what people have said, it is a really, really cool experience. And they feed you, they give you dessert, all kinds of different little things to eat. So if you have a little extra money and want to try that, go for it. Yes, and over here is the original swimming pool. I'm not going to go over there because there's people swimming. I don't want to be a creep. But this original swimming pool was what we saw in the construction photos as from the air as this was being built. And you could see like this area here where the hotel rooms got inserted in. And then I want to say, I don't know if that other pool was there when this first opened. I want to say a version of it was. This has probably been renovated over the years. But there was probably this pool here, and then the main family pool, because usually during normal times this is more of a quiet pool, and then you have the main activity pool with the water slides and everything else. And a lot of the Disney resorts are set up like that. Well, I am going to work my way over to Magic Kingdom and just walk around a little bit, enjoy the ambiance tonight. It is a beautiful night. I hope you all enjoyed this little walking tour of Disney's Contemporary Resort. Again, lots more to come from this resort, where we're going to do the fireworks from the rooftop. And as I get to learn more and more about this hotel, we'll do another one of these. Like I said, today I've done some research, but some of it's kind of off the cuff too. So I'll get more, and I'll get my books out that I have that give you also the secrets. So we'll do another one of these and go more in depth. But this one I just wanted to do to kind of point all the really neat features out here. So that way, if you're staying here, you know what to look for. If you want to take a little bit of time away from the parks and just go explore the resort, I highly recommend it. It is a very fun activity. So I will see you all very soon. Boiler up. Let's beat Fairleigh Dickinson tonight. And the future is what you make of it. So make it a good one, all of you. Good night, everybody.